a banger. This one is gonna be dope. Now y'all probably favorite rapper. Ain't really who you think they is, right? You know, we grow up young, impressionable, looking for a hero, looking for a way out of our strugglings and sufferings, looking up to these people who seem to be somewhat successful, um, inspiring. Nevertheless, they come into our, as far as entertainment, things that we look for to be entertained by, encouraged by, inspired by, and nevertheless, guided and directed. That's why a lot of people go to church for spiritual guidance and direction. A lot of people have mentorship for the same reason. We're gonna get into this video in just a second. I'm thinking about a lot of cryptoids, things that may or may not be real, but nevertheless experiences that people have experienced here in Michigan and Midwest. Is a lot of. It's one of those times of year where you kind of question reality and what's really going on and what's real and what's not. We'll get into that in another time. Michigan itself is a whole nother video. We'll get into that though. About the little creepy, strange things that goes on out here. It's a lot. Not to take away from what they do have, the good things, but whatever, right? Anyway, this video here is about Lil Wayne and the subtle look. To me, all this is brand information. Hearing it, I don't say I believe y'all, but it does question. It brings questions to my mind if he's really a good rapper or he's really a good actor, and as well as these other entertainers, are they really just acting a part of a agenda? Propaganda. I'm gonna save questions for last, but let's review this video and check out what's what.
Since I was 8. I've been writing raps so my
Look how he looking right here. He like, boy, gonna be a good video because I grew up listening to people like him. In that era is where I grew up in. I don't know how old he is, how old he was when he really started rapping, but this documentary, this video, this informative, and again, this is for entertainment purposes as well. Uh, it really brings questions that we should be, especially when we allow these type of people to influence us. We ended up in jail listening to these type of music. A lot of people, future was taken away very, very, very young, very, very soon, growing up thinking that this was the lifestyle to live, thinking that these people were real leaders and real activists. Like Malcolm X said back in the day, it's only with our kind, the people that look like me with this color, that we look up to people like this, political influencers, which is crazy, right? Nobody else in any other culture does these things. They don't have any singers, rappers, actors speaking for their culture. And we allowed this, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we have to start asking these type of questions with these type of people and their background. Because where did you come from, and what is your agenda? And I pause it frequently from time to time, but just to be aware of what's really going on, and stepping up as a so-called leader or influencer, entertainer as well, because that's all these people doing is entertaining. That's what they're good at.
And talking since I was 9. And then I had a few.
Look at his look though, like man.
Then I got back with him. I made 15 months. And I'm on my first solo album. It's through with the October 9th. Like this high.
Some would say Lil Wayne stands a pivotal street. Originally named Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. 1980 in New Orleans. As we mentioned in our documentary, Hip Hop Big Psyop, Wayne has profoundly influenced the sound and trajectory of modern rap.
Now he can rap though. I ain't gonna dude can rap, and he can rap real good.
Into your mind. This is reimagined. You can take
To have the skills, whether he stole it from somebody else, he has a delivery.
Once Wayne made Supernatural more powerful than the streets, rappers who weren't street affiliated had a sound and trajectory of modern. Once Wayne made Supernatural more powerful than the streets, rappers who weren't street affiliated had a way. The new dominant flex was about being labeled, detached, or which led directly to emo rap.
And I was and still around for these changes. Drill rap, that wasn't a thing when this type of rap was going on, when this type of music was out. And before this type of music even came out, there was, you can see this sign right here that says hip hop. This was the conditioning of the mindset of the culture that led a lot of people to the YN culture today. No responsibility, no morale, no accountability, and that mindset of just what are we doing, right? But this is how they conditioned us along the way, years and years at a time. Hip hop was a different vibe, a different feel, and it also had a little bit of. It was actually birthed from hip hop because there were rappers, singers, all type of things, right? But the whole genre was about enlightenment. Erica Badu, Common. Not to say that these people are somebody to look up to, but at the time, these people were putting out influential music. It wasn't about bang bang, shoot 'em up, bitch hole, all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just like Will Smith at one time. He was putting out in a lot of derogatory words and phrases. But it just goes to show like this is agenda, nevertheless. Where it's going to now, you can see the gay rappers, the whole Fruit of the Loop culture or whatever it is, right? You see what it's going to. But nevertheless, just I had to pause it for a moment because I grew up with hip hop. Now we have drill music. It's just the changes, the times change, they're gonna keep changing. Rap came after hip hop, and rap was mainly about drugs and gangster stuff like that or whatever. It was enticing. And it got more enticing when it became drill and whatever it is now.
Wayne, pre-2008. Mental instability is a weakness, not flex. After
And you heard that mentality. That's because we had strong male figures. Because a real strong male figure wasn't indulging in that type of activity. But you see how they, normalized it, made it seem like this is the thing to do. The same way they normalize drugs, violence, and that type of behavior that will send you to prison. And that was the agenda, low key. Like I was saying, a lot of young guys, impressionable, Just like even Lil Wayne himself, you hear him say he was rapping since 8. I mean, he grew up in a hip hop era. Maybe it wasn't hip hop then. I don't know what it was in his era. I grew up around hip hop when I first got into music. Um, and when I really first started liking music, I was hearing like, when rap came out, Tupac and all this and that. It was a big thing. It came as a big wave. Like a lot of waves come through. Um, I'm not sure what the recent wave has been. Nobody really hasn't been doing anything. It's like it's trying to reinvent itself because so much is being exposed. So now they have other distractions. Music is what it is nowadays. I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. But the direction isn't holy at all. It isn't something that the artists sort of say would benefit from. But nevertheless, they make it so enticing and they have all these nice things to make it seem like this is a way out. When in reality, it's a way to. Because look at the things these people doing to have this money, these Dubai trips, the human toilet bowls. I know y'all ain't heard about this stuff. I just started hearing about this stuff last year. And these people been doing this stuff all these years. My peers as well. Like, wow, y'all doing this type of stuff. But what's done in the dark comes to light always. These things come to the light.
Music's natural demonic theme makes you more powerful. Being mentally unstable is a flex, not a weakness. Street credibility is secondary to persona and myth making. Yet this influence of drugs, violence, lean, and pills has positioned him as a
Like I was saying, a lot of people, not saying that some died, but some of them out their mind, dabbling in these drugs and never to be the same again. A lot of my peers my age are dope fiends and drug addicts, and it's sad to see. Some younger and some older, but this is what was influencing the nation at the time.
Wayne's persona has been bolstered by fabricated childhood narratives.
Look at that little boy. He like a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old, but he could for sure be 14, 16. You don't know. But he looks young. Who knows how old he really is? I don't know.
Street credibility.
But when you this young and impressionable, you gonna go to who you feel like to help you out, and especially when you in the hood and poverty.
Unless they believe in his authenticity, they feel compelled to invest their money in his music. Until the culture shifts, real character emerges.
Like I was saying, things change. You can't fake it for so long. You can only fake it for so long. I mean, this guy is a skateboarder. That's really who he is. This other stuff was his persona. And like, let me run it back just a bit. But you hear what he said.
In his authenticity, they feel compelled money in his music. Until the culture shifts and his real character emerges. Growing up in the Holly Grove neighborhood of New Orleans, Wayne was raised by his mother. Wayne's biological father abandoned him, and his stepfather was killed. Birdman became a father figure to him. It is said that by age 9, he joined the Cash Money Records label. Becomes member label. Birdman takes the preteen rappers.
Kept coming. He wanted it. He wanted life. And I just wanted to help him.
He wanted the life. You're going to hear about what life he wanted and how this man had that to provide it. Every young man wants a way out of poverty, unless you're born with a silver spoon. And some people are born that way, not to down them or take away from their experiences because they deserve it. But not everyone is as fortunate a son as those people are.
I just saw some young bro and I thought I could help him.
But here in the clip, Wayne says something different about the age of being Birdman.
I came since I was 8. I've been making rap since I was about 8. He kidnapped me. Baby Slim kidnapped me. I was about 9 when they kidnapped me.
You know what I'm saying?
I messed up. I don't know, it was 1993, man.
This statement runs counter to Birdman's origin story.
His parents went to school with my brother and sister. His parents went.
He said, my mama was the truth. He's damn near your mama them age. You feel me? Like, come on, dog. A lot of inconsistencies are, you know what I'm saying? Like, now is questions need to be asked because a lot of inconsistencies are going on. And I never really thought about this as I was young. Social media was MySpace and Yahoo Messenger. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how that was our social media. Yahoo communicated through emails. And Black Planet, MySpace, that was like a few years later on. So when they was doing interviews like this, if you didn't go home after school to go catch it, you would miss it and it wouldn't be played again. A lot of these interviews, we didn't see these. You'll think like, oh, it's out now, of course, right? Because social media is so popular and everything is on the web. Once recorded, it's out there for eternity. Unless somebody take it down and nobody else was able to are in safekeeping and wraps, unless they want them to be out now, just like a lot of old interviews. You're like, where they come from? Where you think they come from? That vote that people have and all these things is happening for a reason. It's no coincidence that new technology is now arrived. It's because this stuff has been around. And the truth is, they're only exposing a little bit at a time to keep that narrative to control the mindset of the people. So of course we was all misled. We didn't see these interviews. We didn't hear these things. We couldn't go look up this type of stuff. It's now available now, right? 20 years later. But it just goes to show like how they would control the narrative of what's going on and what you can see and what you can hear and what you should be entertained by. The same way as social media now. Everybody's on social media. But what you can see is majority of negativity and all these type of things that condition your mind to be senseless and to be desensitized to violence and crime and being uncompassionate, no empathy. You see a murder on screen, it's like nothing happened, right? We have no compassion for human life. That's why they talk about kill, shoot 'em up, bang, all this type of bullshit, right? And it's cool because why? Waiting on that. Well, if you don't know, I'll tell you because it's a spiritual battle. The more you go against the Holy Spirit and God and what He has came down here to show us how to live and to be an example and to die for our sins so that we won't have to live this body, this life of sin, and that we can truly be free in that mindset. We have the choice to decide if we want to be a negative person or we want to be a positive person. Is it contain this negativity or this positivity? And in doing so, whatever you decide, whichever you choose, you're going to be busy creating that experience more so and more so. And what do I mean? Somebody make you angry, right? You're emotional and intelligent. You're going to be impulsively acted and tempted to act on that anger, which will be a violent act. More so to say, or maybe not. But nevertheless, hurt people, and cycle carries on. Whatever, right? You get it. Now, on the flip side of that, I'll just use Santa Claus as a example. When Christmas time come around, you bring the gift of cheer and joy, and other people want to experience and do the same and give the other experience to other people. It goes on and on.
With my brother and sister.
You know what I mean? She know, she was
manipulation. Be in that realm and that side to do that bullshit, to do those deeds, because it's ongoing. It's a spirit in that thing, you know, a negative spirit that has all type of negative things to get you involved with. Just vice versa on the other realm, another end of it.
was 14 million, and she said, no, baby wasn't either million.
Furthermore,
First on my first million, I was 14, turning 15.
What's some of the first shit you bought?
I ain't buy nothing because I couldn't buy nothing. Because I was in the streets.
this
So we never and maybe never will hear Baby's story. You know, I don't know where he come from. I always heard that story, but that's all you'll ever really hear from him. But one thing I do know is Soldier Slim. He was the hottest thing in that area, and he was independent. He was competition to these two guys, the two brothers. I'm pretty sure they always making music, making money, but you know when the elites came and it was like, we need to take over what you got, get down and lay down. I believe Birdman and Slim was accepting that offer to get down. They got paid millions to go corrupt the rest of these people, and you know they building their camp. Just like Birdman grabbed up Baby and Turk and Juvenile and BG, and how all those people end up building that side. They're building their camp, is what I'm trying to get at.
no 14 projects could manage to hold on to $1 million without facing.
And was he really 14? I don't know. I'm sorry to tell, you know. But for his Lil Wayne moms to be scared of Baby, you know what they was a part of. You know what they was doing. Besides the witchcraft and the voodoo, people talk. And when you in a small town like that, and 10 people know who the shot callers are, they know who Top Boy is. They know who's Hefe or Heifer. The boss, man or woman, right? A lot of times power is presented in a sweet, kind way, like how Jesus Christ came. And sometimes it's presented in a fearful way, like the devil. How a lot of people say they were scared when he came and he offered them things. And, you know, say they had a near-death experience. Some was good, some was bad. But nevertheless, there is another side of life after life, life after death.
Such as being robbed or killed. It is essential to recognize how extremely challenging it is for a young teenager to accumulate such wealth, especially without the life experience needed to navigate the risks of incarceration. Remember, he came out of boy's home, so he was already under radar.
As a young nigga, I was in the streets. Right after that, the street became my life.
So he's what was you in the boys' home for? I don't know if that story is true or not. Characters though, looking back and looking at him now.
The afternoon of November 11th, 1994.
My mom ain't get off till late. You know, I snoop around the room, like, damn, I found a pistol. I was in there. Got a gun. After that, get up safe. Came out. After that.
They assert that the shooting took place on November 1994, as he was in Grocery on television.
Yeah, I was watching. I could remember it was big video on. You call me Big Pop. Yeah, I remember that.
This vivid account offers us a starting point for further research to verify the detailing that day. Music video for Nook B.I.G.'s Big Pop debuted in January 1990.
On the afternoon of November 11th, 1994.
I was watching, I couldn't remember, it was Notorious Big on, whatever, I mean, Big Pop. Yeah.
1995, 94, basically through the 90s. We was just learning Windows Excel, how to type on the computers. Remember 2011. Wait, was it 2011? When September 11th happened, I was only in junior high school. Hold on, let me get some dates together really quick. We're going to get back into this. What year did 9/11? – 2001. So that was in the 2000s. Okay, even in the 2000s, the beginning of the 2000s. Before we even get into the 2000s, right? Because this was a crazy time. 1999. I was in 6th grade. And I remember the fear-monger thing going on. The world was in chaos. People were committing, the Mayans or something, the Aztecs, whoever these people was, they had a prediction that the world was to end in the 2K, the year 2K, the world will end. And that was a big thing back then. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but the year 2K, a lot of people took themselves out because they didn't think that we were going to make it. They thought that the world was going to end. I didn't think too much about it, like whatever. I haven't been living that long, so I'm cool, but I'm not taking myself out. But I just remember going to sleep and waking up just like a regular new year, every new year, go to sleep, wake up, it's another year, and I'm still writing 99. I forgot, okay, it's no 1999, it's 200, I mean. But anyway, soon as the 2K hit, we got hit. We was bombed a year later. And at this time, we had MySpace, I think. Let me see. Was he on MySpace? I think so. But not really, though. We were still doing emails at this time. We weren't really on social media heavy like that. We'll go to the library, check our emails. And we were still learning how to type on computers. We still had the Mac. We had the big back windows, the colored backs, and stuff like that, right? So that was the era of this going on. So it wasn't like that's what happened in 94. We was hearing about this stuff in the early 2000s. So he was already out, they tell you little stuff here and there, but these interviews we didn't hear about until years later. So it ain't like when it happened, we knew about it. He came out, the stories was coming out behind him time and time after certain events. So just to give you a backdrop and a backstory on how this information wasn't available and how we found out later and why we didn't know because. So just to, give you a little history lesson because I'm a little bit older and I've witnessed these changes and I'm conscious enough to know, right from wrong. Whether I choose to do right or wrong is something totally different. But as far as being deceived, you can see how a lot of kids were deceived into thinking that this is the lifestyle to live and this is the way to get paid and, take care of yourself. Unfortunately, later on down the line, we started realizing that whoa, these people are who we think they are. Just like Young Thug and a lot of other people coming out nowadays.
It's evident that he would not have the opportunity.
Oh yeah, like Biggie was out, right? Tupac was out, and then again, propaganda. They kept us consumed with this bullshit, like the East Coast, West Coast, pick a side, divide. We so divided, their information isn't even out.
Its release. The situation raises a crucial question about the context of the story. Is he genuinely misremembering? Obtain memories of traumatic experiences, those involving near-death situations. However, the multitude of inconsistencies in his narrative isn't just a simple case of misremembering. It appears to enhance has transitioned into main popularity. It's understandable that mistakes can happen when recalling ages. Given the pivotal role this narrative played in shaping his career, one would expect that he or his team by the details by now. In one instance, he claimed 12 years old when he shot himself.
At the age of 12 years old, I shot myself.
In another, he states he was 14.
I was 14. Oh, I was
9. He falsely claimed to be 14.
You turned 15 Monday?
man.
15 years old?
You turn 15 Monday? You're 14?
He was in 1982. This interview was in 99. Do the math. So do we really know the age of Lil Wayne? He was effectively saying shooting happened around that interview. Moreover,
He was born in 82, 90. Let me just hack chat. This my love consultant.
he was allegedly born in 19.
Now, we weren't able to fact check this stuff then because I don't remember the interview. I haven't seen it. Yo, how old would you be in 1992?